Our next series of lecture modules are going to focus on the time frame called the Renaissance and Reformation. Historians like to try to break down our understanding of time into labels. And we create things like the Middle Ages, or ancient Rome, or ancient Greece. Not that those are perfect in the sense that everyone agrees when they stop and start, but it gives us a sense of putting things in order. We're going to be talking now in the Renaissance and Reformation era about an increasingly important time period closer to our own, and also with an increasing vitality in many areas as we have more evidence. Remember, as we move forward, the more evidence historians have, the better off they'll be. We'll spend some time talking and looking at the ideas of the early Renaissance. We'll be taking a look at what's going to be called classicism and humanism. These are going to be ways for us to think about how people are going to categorize knowledge. We'll also be taking a look at the classic parts of the Renaissance in terms of artistic development. We'll also take a look a little bit at the Ottoman Empire, which is going to be an external challenge to the way the Europeans are going to be doing business. We'll also spend a little specific time talking about Niccolo Machiavelli, who is going to give us essentially a first look at what we're going to call political science. We'll also talk about the rise of what's going to be called Christian humanism in Northern Europe. This is an intellectual movement that will be very powerful, especially as we talk about the Reformation era. And then, of course, we'll spend some more time taking a look at the three key powers, England, France, and Portugal and Spain, in their development, because they will be sort of the leading economic and other powers of the time, military as well. We'll then transfer into a conversation about some of the key elements regarding religious faith, as some of the challenges that had been made to the papacy in the Middle Ages, some of those cracks that we had talked about in the previous series of lectures where there's some divergence of opinion about religious thought. Some of those are going to become now not just cracks, they're going to become craters, and they're going to open up into large valleys. We'll take a look at the way in which many of the religious ideas will reorganize Europe and the political influence they have. And then we'll spend some time taking a closer look at the English example. It's a very powerful one to show how a politician, in this sense Henry VIII especially, will be using politics in conjunction with religion to get his goals. And then we'll close with a conversation about what the Roman Catholic Church will do in regards to some of the challenges that are being placed upon it from outside authorities, and what kind of alterations they would like to make and which things they'd like to keep. So let's take a look at the next series of lectures here, and hopefully we'll be able to outline some of these key elements as we go one by one.